All right, you guys, welcome to season 3, the new golden era of hip hop, 1995 to 1999. I'm your host, Rob Diggie, aka Rob D, and the place to be. So happy to have y'all with us. I cannot believe they renewed me for another season. They done fucked up and gave me another season, man. Can you believe that, man? Another 16-week run. Oh man, so many blessings that we've had from one break of a season to another. We've been featured in 4 magazines, you guys. We are just up and coming. Matter of fact, today, as we are taping, it is March the 4th. We've just been featured in Entertainment Monthly's magazine as well. So many blessings to all of our followers, supporters, everyone that's been having our back from day zero. Mad love to all of you guys. I am so excited for this next season here. And matter of fact, you know how we do, in the African American community, we can't celebrate unless we have a little bit of hen dog. So just like I said in season 1, round here in the African American community, we call this here a little henny hen. Well, y'all know the rest, how I go, man. Y'all already know how it is, man. I'm gonna pour one up. And my special guest today is someone you all have not met before. He is friend of the family. He is family to me. His name is Scotty Nolan, aka Scotty in the place to be. I'm gonna bring Scotty in the building here with us, man. So let me bring this brother in for y'all to meet. Scotty, what's good, my dude? What's happening? Talk to the people, man. What's good, homie?
What's good? What's good, everybody? We just sitting here chilling, man. Good vibes. You know what I'm saying? It's all love.
Salute to you, my brother. Another season. Man, many blessings to you and your family, man. And if y'all didn't know, Scotty's family is like my family. Actually, it is I wouldn't even say like, it is my family. And we'll talk about that at the end when we get to the shout outs. Because me and Scotty, we go back a few years. Got some good stories to tell, man. I love this brother. I just had no clue he was into hip hop as much as I am. So I am proud and privileged to have him on our platform today. And today, to start off season 3, we are talking about the world famous 8 Ball and MJG. All right, so let me give you guys some accolades about these two gentlemen. These brothers been friends since middle school. They go way, way back. They've been down since Tykes in middle school. 8 Ball's real name is Primrose Smith. MJG stands for Marlon Jermaine Godwin. If y'all didn't know that, that's what MJG stands for. We're going to be talking about them in the new golden era between 1995 and 1999. During that time span, they made 3 albums. The first album is On Top of the World, released in November 1995. Some of the songs that I picked out from that particular album is Kick That Shit, Top of the World. Everybody knows about Space Age Pimpin'. And then what they did is they went on a hiatus. They did a couple of solo projects. So MJG made a solo project called No More Glory. He made a song called That Girl, which is kind of a spin on a Stevie Wonder song, which I like that a lot off that album. And then, of course, we have Lost from 8 Ball, 3 CDs, 3 discs, a lot of music, a lot of material, went almost double platinum. That album was released in May of 1998. And then they decided to get back together and do In Our Lifetime, which was released in May of 1999. Some of the ones that I liked off of there, one of my favorite 8 Ball and MJG songs of all time, We Don't Give a Fuck, Love Hurts, and Throw Your Hands. But one of the songs, and I don't want Scotty's opinion on this, one of the songs that I remember the most about 8 Ball and MJG is the old Tila song, Show Nuff. That's like one of the first times I actually heard Ball and G on a song before, man. So I want to get Scotty's opinion about that here in a little bit. But Scotty, do me a favor, my good sir, and tell everybody when and how did you fall in love with hip hop? What is your story?
Well, Rob, it's basically, like we was talking about earlier. I'm in the sweet spot of age gap. I'm 41. So basically hip hop raised me. It's the soundtrack to my life, basically.
I feel that,
as far as I can remember, it's been, hip hop, because in my day it was the videos, we got drawn in through the videos and the music, man. And hey, like I say, soundtrack to my life.
Well, that's what's up, man. And like we talked about before we started taping, 95 to 99 was my formidable years. The years that made me a man was those 5 years. So these are my favorite 5 years in hip hop. So I'm going to have a lot of fun this season. This season's going to be a blast. And I'm so happy to kick this off with Scotty, man, my homeboy down in Dallas, Tejas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how we do down there in Texas. I miss Texas a lot, man, but I'm up here in Kansas. Got to get this done. Y'all see my backdrop. We are paying homage to Ball and G, virtually in Memphis, Tennessee, which is where they are from. And we're going to kick this discussion off with the first question going to Scotty. And Scotty, the first thing that I think about when I listen to Ball and G is like the grungy kind of southern hip hop that you don't really hear in other parts of the South. Like, it's different from Atlanta, it's different from Miami, it's different from New Orleans. Then you have Memphis, right? So Memphis kind of has its own kind of sound. So what is your opinion about the Memphis sound of hip hop? And I know Ball and G has a lot of influence on that. So what's your opinion about the sound that they brought to hip hop?
Well, first of all, Memphis is a musical town. You know, it's a lot of heavy musical influence is ingrained in Memphis. You see what I'm saying? So the music is only gonna come out in that album.
Yeah.
It's that sound just of Memphis. You have a lot of the guitar sound. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking, you know, the do all of that. You see what I'm saying? That's funky Memphis guitar playing, man. It's just music ingrained.
Yeah, it is, man. And one of the things that we talked about off air was their very first album. Now, I can't talk about the first album in this episode because there's the time span, but their first album, Coming Out Hard, man, that's my favorite 8 Ball and MJG album, like, period. Because to me, start to end, there's bangers all the way through. And to something that Scotty said, you guys, that a lot of hip hop heads can relate to this, is when an artist makes their first album, they're so hungry, they want to polish it so well that they come out swinging on the first album and then they kind of water it down as they go along about their career. Ball and G didn't exactly do that, but that first album, though, whoo, that first album is so goddamn tight, man. Like, y'all need to go back and listen to Coming Out Hard if you get a chance. Just go back and revisit your time in your life when you're listening to that. But we're going to focus on Top of the World and Lost in our lifetime. So, Scotty, what were some of the songs that you resonated with during your studies this week getting ready for this particular episode today? So what are some of the songs that you like off their catalog?
Okay, out of that Top of the World title track, Top of the World. You know, of course, Friend or Foe. You know, that was a banger. It's like you say, you when you hear that sound and that music, man, you just, for me anyway, yeah, it just sends me right back to that era or whatever I was doing at that particular time, and you know, probably at that teenage years. Yeah, you know. Up to no good, probably just vibing with that Ball and G, man. Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, when I first heard Space Age Pimpin', I was like, it was kind of different for that time in hip hop, right? Because not really a lot of people were like doing that kind of experimentation in hip hop. And I was like, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like, it was really slow grinding, and the way that MJG starts off the track, it's just like, you know, that the draw, the southern draw he brings into it, it's so dope, man. So masterfully put together. And I think a lot of that influence, Scotty, was with Suave House. Suave House was up and coming label. They were trying to take over the South at the time, but there were just other juggernauts that are working behind the scenes they didn't see coming, you know, like, you know, No Limit and, you know, Cash Money was, you know, kind of in the inner workings and kind of pushed Suave out to the side. But they still created Ball and G, and Ball and G is still a staple. That's why they're in this season, because of their contributions to hip hop. And I couldn't get by season 3 without talking about Ball and G, man. So, and they kind of went on their solo projects, right? So, how did you feel about that when they went their separate ways for a little bit? So, do you feel like it was something that was needed, or they just wanted to kind of venture off, or what is your opinion about when they went on their solo projects?
Well, basically, I think they just wanted to see what they could do apart from each other. Mm-hmm. But being sort of a purist, of course, I think they're better as a collective. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I dealt with the solo projects. I listened to a few of the songs, and they, you know, it's okay. But yeah, I like them together as a collective personally.
Yeah, and I would agree with that too. I think that oftentimes, we saw the same thing with Outkast. We'll talk about in a couple of weeks down the road. You get to a certain point to where you want to do more experimentation. You feel like you're being kind of in a box and you want to break out the box and do your thing. I get it. I understand that. But it's just certain groups that are just better when they're together. One example would be like the Wu-Tang Clan. Like Wu-Tang Clan are good when they do their own separate project. They can come back and produce some bangers. Ball and G, when them brothers are together, it's unstoppable, man. It's unstoppable when they are together, man. And that's why I like In Our Lifetime. When they drop In Our Lifetime, man, like May of '99, that song, We Don't Give a Fuck, man. Like when you hear that song, bro, Scotty, man, when you hear that song, that wow, 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 you know what I mean? The way it come in, then that bass drops like underneath you. You like, we got some here. And it's just like, I mean, I don't want to say it bar for bar. That's not really what I like to do. I'm not a rapper. But, man, when he says, here come the motherfucking MJG peptide, it's like, oh, hell yeah. It's on. It's on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of my favorite songs, man. But it's just like you mentioned, when they're together, they're unstoppable. But then when they kind of go off on their own, they kind of lose their way. Maybe they lose their identity, maybe. I'm not sure. But Ball and G, if y'all watch this, man, y'all brothers need to stay together, man. Stay together, make music. It's better. It's better for the fans. It's better for everyone collectively. And then, of course, they went on and did other projects and things like that. Actually, Scotty, one of their most famous songs is Stay Fly, the collaboration that they did with 3 6 Mafia in the mid-2000s. That's their highest charted song that they have in their entire career. And, with 3 6 awful Memphis natives as well too, you know what I'm saying, putting Memphis on the map.
That was big, man. Yeah, that was big.
That was a big song. That's a huge song. I know it's outside of time zone, you guys. I know that, but I'm trying to give you some backstory about why that song is so significant, because that's their biggest single in their entire career, and for 3 6 Mafia as well too. So we'll just throw that out there. But man, let's get back to Ball and G real quick, Scotty. So as I was going through and listening to some of the songs and thinking about the time period, as you mentioned, those formidable years, what's one of the songs that you can listen to right now and it flashes you back to a certain time period in your life? So what's a song that, like you can listen to, like, I remember right what I was doing, exactly what was going on when I listened to this song, either in my ride or with my homeboys or just hanging out. Like what song does that for you?
Well, I'm gonna keep it Ball and G since we on Ball and G, And I'm gonna go with that the album, the one they did together, 99.
Okay, In Our Lifetime. Okay.
In Our Lifetime.
Okay.
We started this.
We started this shit. And we gonna finish this shit.
Yeah, right there. And like I say, back, it had been a while since they had dropped the album. Right. And the buzz was, hey man, Ball and G got another album coming out, Boom. I'm riding with my partner. He had just picked me up, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I got that new Ball and G, man. And that was what he played. And I lost my mind, man. Lost my mind. Yeah, the beat was hard, man. MJG was back in rap form, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
man.
I was happy when they did that project, man, because it had been a while.
Yeah, it had been about 4 years. It's like a 4-year kind of hiatus. Like they did the solo projects, and it didn't really hit. You know what I'm saying? Like MJG did, like he did That Girl was a single off of, I think it was No More Glory. I think is what it was called. He did like a solo project called No More Glory in '97, which was lukewarm-ish, and it kind of didn't stick. And then 8 Ball did Lost, which was 3 discs. Come on, Ball, like really, man, 3 discs. Like, come on, man. I know about the double disc, but 3 discs.
Yeah, he did 3 of them.
It's too much, man. It's too much, dog. It's too much material.
Too much filler.
But to see them come back. To see them come back together, man, and like do In Our Lifetime, to your point, man, like that was one that I remember listening to when I bought the CD, and I was like, damn, yeah, this is what it's supposed to sound like. That's the essence of Memphis right here. And I'm not from Memphis, I'm from Atlanta. Everybody knows that. But when you talk about the essence of Memphis, Tennessee hip hop, that album is really what, to me, brought them back to the forefront. Even though they didn't go platinum with it, it brought Ball and G back to hip hop, you know what I mean? And that's why there's Southern legends for a reason, you know what I'm saying? That's why we doing an episode on Ball and G, because they're legends, man. Like not only legends in Southern hip hop, but hip hop in general across, all regions of hip hop. They're just legends, man. So Scotty, let me get your final thoughts, man. So let me give you a question, put it to you this way. So you got young ones at the crib, just like I do. So if you were to sit down with your young ones and give them an 8-ball MJG lesson, right? What album do you pick out for them, and where do you start? Do you start with a single? Do you start with an album? Where do you start? You sit your young ones down and say, hey, young ones, I want y'all to know about Ball and G. Where do you start? How do you start that conversation with them?
Well, first off, I'm going to start it with friend or foe. Life lessons. Anytime I'm talking to my kids, I try to give them something they're going to remember for life lessons. Because I tell mine all the time, especially my sons, my daughters as well. Man, it's hard out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard out here. It's real out here. Yeah. Nobody's giving you nothing.
Yeah. It's
fact. And when you get a little piece of something, your people going to have their hands out and all this kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
You have to give them stuff like, you got to give them tangible information. Friend or foe, the title says it all.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah, great song, great message. Exactly to your point, man. Like, you got to know who your friends and who your foes, and sometimes your damn friends are your foes. You don't even know it. Like, it's just crazy. And you talk about life lessons. I think it's a lot of life lessons in their music. They talk about the street life. They talk about what they've been through, which, a lot of the rappers did in that same time too. But Ball and G, they were talking about what's going on in Memphis, Tennessee. No one really had no idea what's going on in Memphis until you listen to them, talk about their tales and their stories and what's going on in their community. You know what I'm saying? And to me, if you want my opinion, about Ball and G, I think they're underrated as rappers. I think that they are undervalued, I think, in hip hop of what their creativity is. And I really wish that one day in hip hop, if you guys are listening to me, the hip hop community, give these brothers their flowers while they're here, because they've done a lot for Southern hip hop, and they have done and will continue to do more in the future on the entrepreneurial side too, developing young artists and young talent in the future as well too, man. So Scotty, we gotta start wrapping things up, man. Like, brother, it's so good to see you, man. So good to have you starting off our season. Man, but for everybody that's listening right now or watching, season 3 is dedicated to the memory of George Floyd and all of the other ones that we have lost due to social injustice. So for every episode for season 3, we're going to be doing an 8-second moment of silence before we do our shout out. So if you could bow your head for me, sir, give this man his due before we get going. Amen. Let that man's soul rest in peace, and all the other ones that we lost due to social injustice. So, Scotty, who are your shout-outs going to, my good sir? Who are your shout-outs this week, man?
Man, my shout-out is you right now, man. We support you, man.
Thank you, brother. Cheers,
I'm telling you, brother. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. You're doing big things, man. Doing big things. I'm not mad at all at you, man.
I appreciate
I see you drinking that yike back there. That Henny. I'm proud of you, though, man. That's the message for today, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. I got mad love and respect for you and your family, all your kids. Shout out to Nancy. Shout out to the kids. Shout out to Kim. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to all of my family in Dallas, Texas, man. And I don't say my Army family. That is my family. They're just like my damn family, man. So shout out to all you guys, and Scotty, you including that as well. I remember the first time I met you, man, we were kicking back, drinking hen dog that same day. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do it. We got to do that again next time I see you, man. So thank you, brother, for blessing our platform this evening. My shout out, man. Yeah, no doubt, man. My shout out to real short. First off, I want to give a shout out to the legend and memory of Prince Marky D of the Fat Boys. Rest in peace, Prince Marky D, a true hip hop pioneer. He will be truly missed. I also want to give a shout out to my father-in-law, Pop. It's his birthday today. The day that you guys are watching this is March 9th. So shout out to Pop. Happy birthday, man. Hope it's good for you. And the reason why I chose March 9th to start season 3 was because of let me do my math real quick, the 24th year that we lost the notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls. I wanted to start off on the right foot. Biggie Smalls is going to be our season headliner this season also. And hip hop would not be where it is without the notorious B.I.G. I went back and watched the documentary last night. I got a story to tell, featured on Netflix. I suggest you guys go and check that out. It's a really well put together documentary. Walks you through Biggie's life from his upbringing from his mom in Jamaica and his roots to Best Side Brooklyn to stardom, and then of course his demise. So it's a really, really good documentary. I'm glad Puffy, shout out to you, Puffy, for getting involved in that, being the executive producer for that. A very good documentary. And I wanted to start season 3 off on the day that we lost the Notorious B.I.G. So shout out to Notorious B.I.G. Shout out to all the other ones that we've lost in hip hop. And that is all that we have this week, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening in. Next week, we'll be featuring one of the fastest hip-hop rappers of all time, Tongue Twister, a.k.a. Twista. We'll be talking about Twista next week, so you guys tune in for that. But for everybody, thank you all for our followers, supporters, and listeners. Shout out to Scotty. Shout out to his family. Shout out to everybody listening in. We'll see you guys next week. All right, 100. Peace.
Ciao.